spot, I suppose. Now let's hope that's a gold earring. Might not be, but you know. No, it's not. It does look like it from a distance. And again, I don't think it's been here for very long. Okay, so but that's an unusual design. There you go. Found a button here. It's actually there in that water there. So I brought it up here. Yeah, I've just found something nice.
Gold sovereign?
No, I wish. I think it looks like an earring. It's in the water there. You can see that. But as I was approaching it, I noticed there is another one here. Can you see that? I think it's a modern one. I don't think it's been here for too long. But the interesting thing is, the other one is literally almost next to it. So 2 rings. Sitting pretty much one next to the other, which is quite unusual. So someone might have lost it quite recently here. Signal next to this little glass bottle here, and it was just scrap metal, and then that was there. I have no idea what it is. Very interesting shape. Obviously it's not very old. I think it's a keeper. Left hand side I saw this neck of, can you tell what it is? It's a Victorian poison bottle, I think. So he would have looked quite impressive in the 19th century as a bottle. I believe it is one of those. I'll leave that one behind. This is going to be a good year. And guess what? I just found probably my first, it's definitely my first find of the year, and it looks like it could be gold. Went over it, and then I picked up a tone, and then I saw that. So in situ, let's find out what it is. It does look like a ring. If it's a ring, no, I don't think it's a ring. If it's a ring, that's gonna make my day. I love finding rings, but I don't think it's a ring. But it could be gold. No, I don't think it's a ring. Do you? But it does look like a ring, like a low carat ring. And so that's a good start. If it's gold, so that's a good start for the year. The good new year ahead of us. Right, I love when I find something and I don't actually know what it is, because that's the joy of the hobby. When you look at something and then you don't actually know what it is. And I think this one here is one of them. Just about to see some writing on the other side, and over here some what's that? Yeah, that's the joy of the hobby. I don't actually know what it is, but it looks very promising because I can see it has age to it. So I'm gonna give it a bit of a wash. It might be a token, but look at the color of the water, so clear. And it's so calm today, and it's so cold. Right, do I see something there? I can see some letters, and maybe the date right below, 1764. I wonder if it's one of those Dutch coins that I was actually talking about them this past week in the Thames Foreshore Finds group. I think I might be right actually, because I can see the shield there. So I would say I'm 95% certain that it is one of those, I think they call it duet. So the Netherlands and maybe the date is 1762, 64. Okay, I've just found here one of the heritage signs of 2021. I have actually found some of those in the past, but it's always a bonus to find another one. Let's see if you can guess what it is. There's a date there, right below the shield. I think it says 1798. Then when you turn to the other side, that's George III. Obviously 1798 is when he was in power as a king, but this is a 19th century token, very common, used in those days. I think they're all brass. In those days they would have looked very much like a gold coin. Anyway, that's a good find. Looked like a branch or a tree. Then there was a second one. It's either part of an earring. It's a very unusual earring. Or something that holds somewhere else. start off with this 150th anniversary of the institution of the VC medal, 50p coin, depicting both sides of the VC medal and the date 29th of January 1856. That was when the VC was introduced by Queen Victoria, and the word for valour. When I first noticed that this was a 50p coin depicting the VC medal, it put a big smile on my face, because it took me back in time to 2015 when I found the real genuine Victoria Cross, or the Thames VC. The Thames VC is being kept at the National Army Museum in London. And here is the mystery coin. I've cleaned it up a tiny little bit, but you can now clearly see details. That I'm pleased to say that I was 100% correct when I suggested that this is a Dutch duit or doit or drie, whatever way you pronounce it. But it's a coin from the Netherlands and also from the Dutch controlled territories. And also, this coin was commonly used in the Americas. The copper coin is also referred to as the New York penny because it was commonly used in Dutch New Amsterdam, later to become New York. It remained in circulation even long after Dutch rule had passed. My next find is this token, which looks very much like a gold coin when you first find it, and was very common in the 1800s. Although they looked very similar to the spade guinea gold coin of King George III, they were 19th century tokens, but always depicting the portrait of King George III. The token is an advertising token for J. Sainsbury that was established in 1869. They had no value as such. That was only a way of advertising the store, inviting customers to return, spend more money, and tell more people to come to the store. That was a good way of spreading the word. Whether they would be given a discount by bringing these tokens, it's something that I don't know, but I would have guessed so. Yes, why not? I'll give you a discount if you bring this token. They were still in circulation until the 1900s, and I believe the last one was issued in 1913. Next one, a common find on the Thames foreshore, is a clay tobacco pipe. This particular one here is circa 1700s. The way I can tell is by the shape and size of the bow, as you can see on the chart on the left hand side there. Here are some of the clay pipes I found in the Thames mud. Although they look very much similar to one to the other, but they are all very different in terms when they were actually produced. They all come in different shapes, in different sizes, flat heels, pointed spurs, with decorations, with initials, with stems, with different shapes and forms,
but what indicates the age of a clay pipe is the size of a bowl initially. If it's a very tiny small bowl, it's definitely one of the earliest clay pipes. This one here is a brownish color clay pipe, but it doesn't mean that it was actually brown in those days. There is a link there above. If you click on it, that will take you to one of my previous videos on the day that I found some or maybe all of these clay pipes in the Thames mud. And that will actually give you an insight on how they arrived in England, where they came from, a bit of maker marks, and the age of these clay pipes and so forth. My next find remains a puzzle to me, but it could be part of a pendant, not an earring, as I initially thought. So that part there probably would have been attached to a chain, perhaps, but why would someone wear something like that? I don't know. So it's copper and it looks modern. My next find is this nice looking earring, which is a costume design. It's not gold, and you might have guessed also with this pair of earring, it's not silver, it's costume design. And the tiny glass bottle, if you look at the neck of the bottle, is a very modern style. My next find is this intriguing button here with 3 letters, and it turned out to be that this button probably used to belong to a soldier, so that's the button of his uniform with the letters ASC, which stands for Army Service Corps, and it's around World War I, so you would have been used by one of these soldiers during the World War I. My next find from one soldier to another. This uniform is unknown to me, quite challenging. I can't find an identification for this particular type of uniform. There has been suggestions of probably Boer War or Zulu War, both around late 19th century. The helmet, which is probably a pipe type of helmet, would indicate that. But please feel free to comment below if you have any suggestions or any further information on these toy soldiers. Thank you. My next find, could that be a brooch and the pin is missing, similar to the one on the left hand side? Although I'm not 100% that this could be a brooch, because it's very fragile if you compare to the one on the right hand side, and also the pin is missing. But the one I found previously in farmland, which went to the British Museum and eventually was disclaimed and returned to me, it looked more solid, and the one I have there on the left hand side doesn't actually look as solid to be a brooch, but you never know. In my next visit to the Museum of London, when I see the finest liaison officer, I'll take that, and then hopefully they will be able to give me an identification. In the meantime, you can check out my video on the day I found that particular medieval annular brooch a few years ago, and also the day I went to pick it up from the British Museum when it was disclaimed and the brooch returned to me. finally I have this object here I found, but I unfortunately did not record on the day when I found it on the Thames. I have so many of these rings here, they all look very, very similar, and my hope at this time was that this particular one here was a medieval chainmail, but unfortunately it's not one of those, according to what I have researched, and they tend to be different in terms of shape. They are usually flattened where the join is, and this one here, it looks very solid and it goes like a circular all the way round. And my bucket list is still there to be ticked, and the medieval chainmail still out there to be found.